Hey everyone, today we're going to take a look at how to make a very simple, very elegant hardwood miter box. Now there's a ton of box tutorials on YouTube. Is this one going to be a better box than the ones that you're going to make with other videos? No, not at all. But is this video going to give you tips and tricks that you won't find anywhere else? Also no, not at all. The point that we're trying to show here is that it's actually very easy to make these miter boxes. I have not been making boxes relatively for that long, and if I could do it, you definitely can too. We're all about that Bob Ross kind of positivity around here. Now for this box, we're going to be using hardwood Bubinga, and there's two very good reasons to be using this wood. Number one, it looks very nice, as you can see. The grain is really incredible. Number two, it's very fun to say, Bubinga. You can say it as many times as you want, Bubinga. The police literally cannot stop you. So this is 4/4 wood from my local hardwood shop, which means nominally it's about 1 inch thick. In reality, it's a little bit less than an inch. Usually it's around 0.8 inches or so. And it's got a bunch of cracks in it, as you can see. The wood is not perfect, but that's okay because we're gonna run it through the planer, because when we're making a small box anyways, you don't want the wood to be that thick. It kind of throws off the proportions. Okay, now we've cut it down. It's about 5/8 of an inch thick. You can kind of see it there. We still have a few cracks and gouges over here. That doesn't actually matter because as it is, this board is about 4 inches wide. We're gonna trim that down a bit anyways for the proportions of the box that we're looking for. So we're gonna cut off the edge over here anyways. So I've got this 45-degree miter sled right here. I built it a few months ago. It's very useful. Technically, I suppose you could do this project just running your wood through the table saw at a 45-degree angle, but this just gives you much more precise cuts, which is going to be much more useful when you're coming to gluing everything up at the end. So I've cut my first miter here at 45 degrees, as you can see. Now all I did is I set my stopper here exactly 5 inches away from where the table saw blade comes through. Now this stopper is really important because it gives you repeat cuts that are exactly the same size, which is really the most important thing when you're putting together a box like this. If any of your sides are different sizes, different lengths, you're gonna have a lot of trouble. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to make my second cut. I'm gonna cut off this first piece, and then I'll rotate the piece itself, make another cut, do that 4 times so I have 4 equal sides. So now that I've cut out all 4 sides, you test fit them, put them together, make sure that those miters are nice and snug, and they are. Those two don't look like it, but trust me, they are. It's just because I'm holding my phone with one hand. Or don't trust me, I don't know. You're an adult, you can probably do whatever you want. Okay, now from this point, we can go a couple of different directions. We can go ahead and put in a dado cut right there so that we can fit in a very thin, maybe like 1/4 inch or 1/8 of an inch piece to serve as the bottom. And then for the top, we can, put some kind of a hinged closing mechanism over there. But as I said, this is going to be a super simple one. So all we're going to do is we are going to cut rabbits, not actual rabbits. That's they're cute and cuddly. We don't want to do that. We're going to cut rabbits into the top and bottom that are going to allow for a very easy to place takeoff hinge, as well as a bottom that's going to give the piece a little bit of height. So we'll see how that works in a second. Now, normally at this point, you would throw in a dado stack into your table saw so that you can just run everything through one time and have a perfect cut. Unfortunately, I don't have a dado stack because I don't have any money, because I spent all of my money on the Adobe suite to edit this video. So what we're going to do is we're just going to run it through a regular table saw blade, and after every pass, we'll just move over the fence a tiny bit, maybe like 2 millimeters or so, and keep doing that until we have a good sized rabbit cut. So as you can see now, we have, let's get it in focus, there we go. We have a good rabbet cut right there, which is going to serve as the slot where we can put the top and bottom onto the box. Okay, now we're ready for glue up. The first step is going to be to align everything with the outside facing up. Take some blue painter's tape. Mess up the first one. Now we can test to make sure that the whole thing goes together nicely. And it does. The tape itself is not going to be the thing that clamps it. We're going to have a band clamp, but at least the miters are nice and secure. Next thing is going to be glue. So take your Tight Bond or whatever your preferred glue is. I like this one because it works for cutting boards, which I make sometimes. Okay, so next thing that we need to do is to cut out the walnut top and bottom of this box. So we just go ahead and measure right there. We're at just a bit under 4.5 inches. So I'll cut out 2 pieces from this piece of walnut right here. And now these 2 pieces fit perfectly into the top and bottom of the box. Giving you a little bit of a peek of what the final product is going to look like. So all we need to do is put some glue on the inside of this little rabbet. And now we clamp it down. Okay, now after letting the glue dry for a day, we can take this tape off and get to sanding. Now the first thing that you're going to want to do is you want to sand the edges, right? You're going to do this by hand. Just grab a piece of sandpaper here. I have 120 grit. And you're just going to lightly go on those edges. This is to smooth it out as well as to make sure that there's no splinters. Now that we've got the edges, we're going to use a random orbital sander. I'm going to start out with 120 grit sandpaper, sand all the sides and the top and bottom, and then do a 220 grit, and then you're basically done. So there we have it. This box now is done. It's functional, it's gorgeous, and most importantly, it's easy. That's what we were going for here. Now you can do a few more steps. You can add a nice little handle on top instead of picking up the lid from the sides. You can finish the box with something like a beeswax or even a polyurethane if you want to, but like I said, we are going for something that is very easy and something that is functional here, and that's what we have. So hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you have anything to say in the comments, any questions, and I hope to build something else again soon. Thanks for watching.